Hello, everybody. Welcome to Maple Minds. Please subscribe. We're going to be watching Donald Trump's State of the Union address. We're just waiting for it to get started. He's late, as usual. There's going to be so many lies. Hello? 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 So far today, people have said that Donald Trump is going to walk back his tariffs on Canada and possibly announce a deal with Ukraine, the minerals deal, signing that. Apparently his order to withhold U.S. Trump has crashed the stock market today as well.
Mr. Speaker, the President's Cabinet.
Yeah, I'd be embarrassed too. She looks like she's embarrassed. She doesn't look happy, does she?
That's true. I should have done way
Secretary, can't wait to connect with you. We have so much Yes.
It's ridiculous. They're celebrating the destruction of America. They're all happy to destroy America, to create distrust in America. late. As usual. They crashed the they crashed the stock market today, and look at them, they're all happy. Are they doing it on purpose? Stop it. Oh, really? Democrats should not stand up for him, but they should turn their backs on him. I can't speak tonight. What the heck is going on?
I know. What's going on?
Democrats are all staying to the other side of the room. I don't know why they're standing though. They should sit. They shouldn't show any respect. This man deserves no respect after what he's done.
It's like a 50-pound thing.
They think they're waving to the camera, but we're over here. He needs to be booed. This needs to be like the town halls where people are. He deserves no respect. No respect whatsoever. This isn't a president of the United States. Are you kidding me?
Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States.
Boo. Boo. People should be booing. Nobody should be clapping. Yeah, see, like rats sitting down. Exactly. No respect for this man. He doesn't deserve it.
Only guy I wait for is God.
It should be like a town hall. They should be booing him. Just milking it for everything it's worth. Hi, Lori. Why is somebody wearing a mega hat? Shouldn't they be taking their hats off in that space? See the hat that Marjorie Taylor Greene was wearing? Trump was right about everything. No, he wasn't.
Thank you.
Ugh. Remember, I want everybody to remember that you're about to hear propaganda and lies.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
He's going to say he wanted everything. He won with Ukraine, he won Canada, he won with Mexico.
President Vance, the First Lady of the United States, members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens,
Why aren't they
America is back.
No, it's not. Nope.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era
Really?
in the history of our country.
Your
We
market's
have accomplished
crashed.
more in 43 days
going
than
into a
most
recession?
administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Unemployment's going up. Food prices going up. Gas going up. Trust going down. No. Definitely not a golden age.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our
No.
pride is back, our
No.
confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
Republicans at town halls are booing your administration.
The American dream is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback,
There's
the
no
likes
American
of which
dream
the
anymore.
world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again.
Just
Never been
American
anything like it.
distrust.
The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes.
Likely with the help of Elon Musk. Ooh, what do their signs say? I would like to know what those signs say. They're not going to show it though, are they?
We won the popular vote
Maybe I can find
by
it.
big numbers and won counties in our country.
Haha, people are booing. Yes, boo! It should sound like a town hall. Yes. Democrats should be fighting for the United States of America right here, right
And won
now.
counties in our
Like that
country,
gentleman is.
2,700 to
Who is that gentleman?
525.
He's like,
But
get
a
him out,
map
get
that
him out of
reads
here.
almost completely red for
Tough.
Republican.
Democrats should be standing
Now,
up
for the
right
first
now,
time in
and they're
modern
not.
history,
Just like
more
that gentleman
Americans
is.
believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's
No.
an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever.
Look at J.D. Vance giving death eyes to him. He's a person of color who's standing up and speaking out.
Likewise, Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Every Democrat should be doing what that gentleman is doing.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain
No.
decorum in the House
No.
and to cease any further disruptions.
Who is this
That's your warning.
brave man? We the people tie. Look at his tie. He's brave.
Members are
knows the
engaging
fight.
in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint
No,
session.
he knows the fight. That gentleman knows the fight. He's been there. He's done it. You can tell. Who is he? He's so brave. And all the other Democrats should be standing up with him. Now he's going to get manhandled.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir.
Mr. Green.
Take your seat.
No, don't take your seat. He knows what's going on.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and
Nope.
concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order.
Mr. Green.
Remove
a
this
brave
gentleman
man.
from the chamber.
Wearing We the People tie. He knows. He knows. Don't manhandle him. He's got a cane. Now they're singing na 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 goodbye. Hey hey goodbye. Save Medicaid.
Members are directed to
So the signs say
uphold and
save
maintain
Medicaid.
decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you.
They need
Over
more
the past
signs.
6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land.
Made a
The
bunch
people
of
elected me
unemployed.
to do the job, and I'm doing it.
No. The people in the stands aren't standing up either. Like up top there, if you look up top, okay, maybe a few. But the majority of them aren't standing up.
In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation. By many. And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our
Ridiculous.
country. And what a job they've done. As a result,
So this is the gentleman. Representative Al Green. He knows he knows what's going on.
they heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden, the worst president in American history,
No, I think
there
you
were
are.
hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month.
I think you're the worst
And
president
virtually all
in
of them,
history.
including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country.
Wrong.
Who would want to do that?
Trump thinks that people who are
This is
seeking
my fifth
asylum are
such
from
speech to
insane
Congress.
asylums.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile
No.
or applaud. Nothing
No,
I can
because
do.
you're
I could find a
You're a
cure
bigot.
to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history or the stoppage of
You have
crime
none
to
of
the
that,
lowest
buddy.
levels
None.
ever recorded. And these
The most
people
people
sitting
died
right
under your
here
watch.
will not clap, will not
Yep,
stand, and
Musk-
certainly
yep,
will not
Musk
cheer for
steals-
these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what.
Nope.
Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
I hope they're hurting your feelings. Aw, poor baby Trump. Aw. Trump needs a wambulance. Trump needs a wambulance. He's crying. Oh, poor baby. People are
So
telling the truth
Democrats
to
sitting
your
before
face.
me, for just this one night,
No.
why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins
Celebrating
for
what?
America?
Celebrating the market crash.
For the good of our
Prices
nation,
are up.
let's work together and let's truly
Celebrating
make America
deportation
great
of women
again.
and children, not criminals.
Every day, my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
And you fired tons of people. Unemployment is up because of you. Families are
I
starving
terminated
because
the
of you.
ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord, which was costing us trillions of dollars that other countries were not paying. I withdrew from the
That's a
corrupt
lie.
World Health Organization. And I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human Rights Council. We ended all of Biden's environmental restrictions that were making our country far less safe and totally unaffordable.
Yeah, JD's wearing
And
extra eyeliner
importantly, we
tonight.
ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Nope, now cars are going to cost more too.
To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And in that first term, we set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before. We ordered all federal workers to return to the office. They will either show up for work in person or be removed from their job. And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Not too good.
Yeah, well, it'll happen again when you're done here. Balls.
And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America.
No, you
It's back.
censored. You banned the AP from the newsroom, bringing lawsuits against.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the
agencies.
official language of the United States of America. I renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And likewise, I renamed, for a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again. Beautiful Alaska. We love Alaska. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the
Fired a
private
lot of
sector
women and
and our
BIPOC.
military.
Individuals, people of color. Yeah, exactly.
And our country will be woke no longer.
Women are standing up and cheering that he got rid of equity and
We
inclusion.
believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence,
How
not
many
race
plane
or
crashes
gender.
has there been across America?
Very important. You should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have removed the poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
At conception, which means everybody's female. Bigot. He's a bigot. I can't believe people voted this way.
I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports.
Yeah, he's not a doctor.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side, and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding. And if you really want to see numbers,
Apparently women
just
can't
take a
hit the
look
ball
at
that
what
hard.
happened in the women's boxing, weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up
Donald
with
Trump
it
is
any
demeaning
longer.
women right now, saying that we are not equal. There's many women that could probably kick.
What I have
men
just described
or
is only a small
could probably,
fraction of the
yeah,
common
kick
sense
men's butts.
revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the
And I'm not
entire
talking
world.
about who he's talking
Common
about.
sense has
Talking
become
about
a
men.
common theme, and we will never go back. Never. Never going to let that happen. Among my very highest priorities is to rescue our economy and get dramatic and immediate relief to working families. As you know, we inherited from the last administration an economic catastrophe and an inflation nightmare. Their
I mean, what's
policies
happening
drove
right
up
now?
energy prices, pushed up
The market's
grocery
crashed.
costs, and drove the
Grocery
necessities
costs
of
are
life
way
out
up
of
now,
reach
even
for
more. What is he
millions and
talking
millions
about?
of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps
You're
even
going into a
in the
depression,
history
buddy.
of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America
You're not
affordable
reversing
again.
it. You're making it worse. Exactly, Lori.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
And what are they now?
The egg price is out of control.
Whatever.
And
He's
we're
going to
working
blame
hard
Joe
to get
Biden
it back
now.
down. Secretary,
That's
do
what
a
he
good
does.
job on that.
He does
you
it.
inherited a total
He makes
mess
things
from
worse,
the
and then he
previous
blames Joe
administration.
Biden for him.
Do a good job.
Joe Biden's not even president. If anything, Joe Biden kept the prices down.
A major focus of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly
And now that he's
reducing
gone,
the
they're going
cost
up
of
more.
energy. The previous administration cut
Bird
the
flu
number
did
of
it.
new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now. And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by far. And now I fully authorize the most talented team ever assembled to go and get it. It's called Drill, Baby, Drill.
That'll be Pierre Poilievre's next slogan.
My administration is also working on a gigantic natural gas pipeline in Alaska, among the largest in the world, where Japan, South Korea, and other nations want to be our partner with investments of trillions of dollars
No,
each.
South Korea
There's
is
never
now
been anything like that one.
partnering with
it will
Japan
be truly
because
spectacular.
you cannot
It's
be
all
trusted.
set to go.
The United States of
permitting is
America
gotten.
cannot be trusted.
And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production
South Korea
of critical
and Japan
minerals
have
and
been
rare
enemies.
earths here in the USA.
Because of what Japan did. And now they're going to work together because they can't trust the United States of America.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but will be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, by firing everybody.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
Look, it's the President of the United States, Elon Musk.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Boo. Boo.
Thank you, Elon. He's working
We just
very
saw the
hard. He
true
didn't need this.
president of the
He
United
didn't need
States,
this.
everybody.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Everybody here,
don't.
even this side, appreciates it, I believe.
No, they don't.
They just don't want to admit that. Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens.
Wrong.
$45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social
so
and
you took
economic
away
inclusion of
Help
sedentary
for people
migrants.
people of color,
Nobody
women.
knows what that is.
to us LGBTQIA plus.
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
That's bullshit.
This is real.
No, it's not real.
$32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame
This
Street
is all baloney.
in the Middle East. It's a program.
Baloney, baloney,
$20 million
baloney.
for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her? A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring.
This is all
$1.5
made-up
billion
bullshit.
for
Elon
voter
Musk just put
confidence
fake
in
shit out there.
Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in
If
Mali.
you guys, if anybody believes
$59
this,
million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. He's a real estate developer. He's done very well. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation
that would be
in
vegan,
Zambia.
not Dagan.
$42 million for social and
Yeah,
behavior
false. It's all
change
false.
in
This is
Uganda.
baloney.
$14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia.
They would show it if this was true.
$47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. We know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed
This is
and swiftly
baloney.
terminated
I would
by
like
a
to
group of
see
very
all the
intelligent,
documentation
mostly
for
young
this,
people,
because apparently they
headed
cannot
up
provide
by
any.
Elon, and we appreciate it. We found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
Baloney. They are so full of poop. It's turning into orange.
And we've taken back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taken back a lot of that money.
There
we
is
got it
no
just in time.
documentation to
This
prove
is just the
anything
beginning.
what he's saying. Yes.
The Government Accountability Office, a federal government
Democrats
office, has
should be yelling
estimated
out.
annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security
Another
program
lie.
for our seniors, and that our seniors
Another lie.
and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million
where's the
Social
money,
Security
Elon?
members from people aged 100 to 109 years old.
Wrong. Bull crap.
It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any
That's
of them. I
baloney.
know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly. 3.47 million people from ages
I don't know if I can
120
continue with this
to
live, man. This guy
129.
is such a liar.
3.9 million people from ages 130
It's
to
absolutely not true.
139.
It's been debunked.
3.5
Not
million people
False.
from ages 140 to 149.
He's such a liar.
And money is being paid to
he's
many
just
of
trying
them.
he's trying
and
to make
we're
it okay
searching right
to
now.
take people's
In fact, Pam, good luck. Good luck.
retirement away.
You're going to find it. But a lot of money is paid out to people because it just keeps getting paid and nobody does. And it really hurts Social Security and hurts our country. 1.3 million people from ages
He wants to
150
get
to
rid of Social Security
159 and
altogether.
over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a
Oh,
healthier country than I
such a
thought,
liar.
Bobby.
There is no paperwork to support any of what he's saying. Nothing. They just say it, but they don't show it. There is no showing of these
Including
facts that are not
To
facts.
finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and
They
229.
just want to.
One person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at
They just want to justify cutting
360
people
years
off
of age.
Social Security. They want
More
to
than 100
justify
years-
gutting Social
More than
Security
100 years
and cutting people
older
off.
than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American
It's not
families.
going to happen.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time.
What?
And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it. With that goal in mind, we have developed in great detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on sale very, very soon. For $5 million, we will allow the most successful job-creating people from all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the Green Card, but better and more sophisticated. And these people will have to pay tax in our country. They won't have to pay tax from where they came. The money that they've made, you wouldn't want to do that, but they have to pay tax, create jobs. They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying for them so that we can keep them in our country instead of having them being forced out. Number one, at the top school, as an example, being forced out and not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators who are allowed to enter our country under the open border policy of these people, the Democrats, the Biden administration, the open border insane policies that you've allowed to destroy our country, we will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
There have been no changes to the interest rate as far as I can see.
Americans
No changes
have
to
given
the
us a
interest
mandate
rate.
for bold and profound change. For nearly 100 years, the federal bureaucracy
They're going to
has
gut Social
grown until it
Security.
has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in
It's the only
every
reason why you
possible
turn people
way.
against.
The nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of regulations and debt. Approvals that should take 10
Yeah, I don't
days
see
to
anything
get
about interest
instead
rates going
take
down.
10
There's
years,
nothing.
15 years, and even 20 years before you're rejected. Meanwhile, we have hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy
anything,
to
they're gonna
America
raise them.
again. And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately. Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
What did he just say? What did he just say?
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there, they're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for
Apparently,
those tax cuts.
there
Because
are
otherwise,
no
I don't
tax
believe
cuts
the
like
people
he has
will
been
ever
saying.
vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by
Like,
telling you that.
No taxes for tips.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
Yeah, see, false.
Thank you. It's a very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no
None of
tax
that is
on
in the bill.
Social Security benefits
None of
for
that
our
is in the
great
bill that he
seniors.
put forward. Yeah, he says he's going to drain the swamp of unelected bureaucrats. Then why is Elon Musk there?
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
He wants to.
And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited.
cars
in fact,
can stay in
already
America.
numerous
We
car
don't want
companies
them.
have announced that they will
We
be
won't take
building
them.
massive automobile plants in America.
So,
With
and I don't
Honda
think
just
anybody else
announcing
will
a new
either.
plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world. And this has taken place since our great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country. In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut taxes on domestic production and all manufacturing. And just as we did before, we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country. First term. We had a great first term.
I'm sorry to tell you, bud. Your economy is crashing right now.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair.
Wrong.
India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help
One of the
militarily
states is
and
ready to
in
go
so many other
bankrupt,
ways to
apparently.
South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day was cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them. If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our
So
market.
they want to be in our
There's a lot of
market,
that,
but they
too.
don't want us to
They don't
be
even
in
allow
theirs.
us in their market.
Bullshit.
We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before.
Your
I
unemployment
did
is
it with China and I
skyrocketing
did
right
it with
now.
others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But
Wrong.
even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing
Fentanyl's coming from
hundreds of
you.
thousands
You're
of
growing
our
it inside your
citizens
country and sending
many
it to
very
us.
young, beautiful people destroying families.
It's homegrown.
Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Homegrown
They are in effect
fentanyl
receiving
from the United
subsidies
States of
of
America
hundreds of
that
billions
keeps
of
crossing
dollars.
our
We pay
border.
subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it
And
any
your
longer.
guns. Your guns come here. Illegal guns.
Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past
It's
few
very
weeks.
hard to listen to
The
this.
combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment.
If anybody should be worried about a border,
OpenAI
it should
and
be
Oracle,
us against our
Larry
southern
Ellison,
neighbors.
announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're
what's
building, and
important to
many other
them
companies
is
are coming.
USA protection
to give them
against
money.
China.
We just want to
That's what's
protect our
important.
businesses and our people. And they will come because they
He
won't have to
probably
pay tariffs
threatened
if they
them.
build in America.
If
So
this
it's
is-
very
if this
amazing.
is true,
You
he
should get
probably
rid of
said
the
that he'd pull his
CHIP
support.
Act. And whatever's left over, Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt
Just like they're blackmailing
or any
Ukraine.
other reason you want to. Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer. Who will now be selling into our home market, the USA, because nobody is going to be able to compete with you because there's goods that come
What
in
does
from
UA
other
mean?
countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected.
They're going to be worse.
They may be very dirty
because
and
you're
disgusting.
putting tariffs
and they come
on
in and they pour in,
potash.
and they hurt our American farmers. The
they're hurting
tariffs
already.
will go on agricultural product coming
They're
into
already
America,
sorry
and our
that they
farmers starting on
voted for
April
you.
2nd. It may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just bear with me, and they did. They did. Probably have to bear with me again, and this will be even better. That was great. The problem with it was that Biden didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
Have fun. Get to work your ass off to try to save your farms. Because
And
now
I have also
screwed you over.
imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long. Here today is a proud American steelworker, fantastic person from Decatur, Alabama. Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain of his local volunteer fire department, raise 7 children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Elizabeth Warren. America is back. Oops. What did I do? Aw, man.
Another person who has
Whoopsie-daisies.
devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it. A very loving person, our magnificent First Lady of the United States.
Excuse me.
Melania's work has yielded incredible results, helping prepare our nation's future leaders as they enter the workforce. Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative and is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is a terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody. That's great. Thank you very much to the Senate. Thank you. But if we truly care about
The price
protecting
of
Americans'
eggs
children,
are
no
going
step
up because of
is
bird
more
flu.
crucial than securing America's
They
borders.
put
Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers,
I lost my
human traffickers,
Oh,
gang
RFK
members, and
Jr.
other
in
criminals
charge of
from the
health,
streets of dangerous
and
cities
he's gutting
all
everything
throughout the
to do
world.
with that.
Because of Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies. They are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast. And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done. Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE, well, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement.
Arresting all those women and children.
Have
Good
to.
job. Good job.
Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren. Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
And 1 billion men in America kill women every day, and they don't do anything about it or say anything.
It's called the Laken Riley Act.
I'm exaggerating
So
a bit. It's
Allison
not 1
and
billion,
Lauren,
but it's
America will
called
never,
a lot.
ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
It's just when they're making an example of somebody who is in a marginalized community. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm just saying that they don't bring awareness to any of it unless
Thank you very
it's
much.
part of their political agenda.
Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping
Which is really
border
sad.
and immigration crackdown in
Where
American
is this
history.
energy for other
And
women?
we quickly achieved the lowest numbers of illegal border crossers ever recorded. Thank you. The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation, we must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president. Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country. Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled
Oh,
under
boy.
the weight of the migrant
They're eating the
occupation and
cats.
corruption
They're eating the
like
dogs.
nobody's
They're eating
ever
the
seen
cats.
before.
They're eating the
Beautiful
dogs.
towns destroyed. Now, just as I promised in my inaugural address,
This is all
we are
racist
achieving
bullshit.
the great liberation of America.
So racist. We need immigrants. We need people coming in from other countries.
But there still is much work to be done. Here tonight is a woman I have gotten to know, Alexis Nungari from Houston. Wonderful woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store. She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered. Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are 2 illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border. The death of this beautiful 12-year-old girl and the agony of her mother and family touched our entire nation greatly. Alexis, I promised that we would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter, and earlier tonight I signed an
You know,
order
I'm not saying anything about
keeping
this.
my
This is
word
all a
to
tragedy,
you.
but they
One
don't
thing
talk
I have learned about Jocelyn is that she
you know,
loved animals so much.
this
She loved nature.
energy is just for
Across
people who
Galveston
are-
Bay, from where Jocelyn
deem
lived in
immigrants.
Houston, you'll
they're not,
find
they
a
don't speak out or
magnificent
do
national
anything about
wildlife
the millions of women
refuge,
that, or
a
the millions of
pristine,
people who are
peaceful,
assaulted every
34,000-acre
every day,
sanctuary for all of God's
and the people
creatures
get away with it.
on the edge of
And
the Gulf of America. Alexis,
underreported
moments ago, I
because
formally renamed that
nobody cares
refuge
or seems to care.
in loving memory of your beautiful daughter, Jocelyn.
But now they care.
So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
They care when they're trying to demonize immigrants and migrants. What's the order? I missed it.
Thank you very much. All 3 savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the
Using that word.
Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially designated this gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
Yeah, no kidding. Who's keeping women safe from Trump? Nobody.
They are now officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or
When he says rounded
if
up
they're
and
too dangerous,
forcefully removed,
put
that
in
means
jails,
women and children
standing
and
trial
families.
in this country, because we don't want them.
It's just a small
come
amount
back
that
ever.
is a
With us
criminal
this
element.
evening is a
And
warrior
if they
on the
got in,
front
they got
lines
in
of that
by
battle.
sneaking in,
Border Patrol agent
not
Roberto
by legitimate
Ortiz.
resources.
Great guy.
Where there, a lot of people did get in legitimately, like claiming asylum.
In January, Roberto and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them. Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire and providing crucial seconds for his fellow agent to seek safety, just barely. I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Yeah, I remember his first term. He had cages for women and children, and families were separated. Like so bad that they had children where they couldn't find their parents.
Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
He's trying to paint every immigrant that comes in, anybody of different nationality, different color, as a criminal.
5 nights ago, Mexican authorities, because
just
of
not
our
true.
tariff policies being imposed on them, think of this, handed over to us 29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country. That has never happened before. They want to make us happy. First time ever. But we need
Really?
Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop
How about
the
you,
fentanyl
man?
and drugs pouring
Your drugs
into
are coming
the
up here
USA.
to us.
They're going to stop it.
They're being made
I have
in the
sent
United
Congress
States
a
of America,
detailed
and they're
funding
coming up to
request laying
Canada.
out exactly how we will
As well as your
eliminate
guns.
these threats to protect our homeland and complete
Your
the largest
criminals are coming
deportation
over here.
operation in American
Why don't
history,
you
larger even than
Watch your own
current
borders.
record holder, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do that, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Mr. Leader, thank you. Thank you very much. And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe it. And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns. In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics. Many jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and the DOJ. Pam, good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi. Good luck. So important. Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you. Thank you, Cash.
I don't understand why. So
They've
the
already
29
started very strong. They're gonna do a
cartel that
fantastic
Mexico
job. You're
handed
gonna be
over
very
to the
proud
United
of
States
them.
of America, they were already
We're
in
also
jail in
once again
Mexico.
giving our police officers the support, protection, and respect they so
Why would the
dearly
USA
deserve.
want to
They have to
house
get
those?
it. They have such
why
a
would they want
hard,
them?
dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous.
Yeah, the worst picks ever.
The
Why would
problem
they
is the
want to
bad guys
house
don't
them?
respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people.
They were already
I
in
will never
jail.
forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
There was a lot of voter suppression going on.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person
How long
and a
is this
great
going to be, man?
officer,
I thought it would maybe be an hour.
was gunned down at a traffic stop
I
on
don't know
Long
if I can
Island. I
take
went
any
to
more of his
funeral.
lies.
The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight.
No, they
Stephanie,
just
thank you very
transferred
much,
them.
Stephanie.
Why would they do that?
Thank you very much.
Now the U.S. has to pay for these prisoners that Mexico handed over. Who were already in custody. They were already in jail.
Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm
taping
asking
it?
Congress to pass that policy into permanent law.
Not for me with my commentary. What an idiot! That's insane! He's not telling the truth. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
also asking for a new
Sorry,
crime
not
bill
about
getting
this
tough
stuff.
on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed.
Yeah, he's
They
giving
don't
the
want to
police
be
more
killed.
power.
We're not going to let them be killed.
Giving the police more
Joining
power.
us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer.
I can't say anything about that.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
They want Derek Chauvin pardon in the George Floyd case, really?
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his
That's a
dream
police
come
officer.
true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service. you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a
That boy is
chemical
cute.
he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%. Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr.
He thinks people should not be immunized against measles currently. And there's a big outbreak in Texas. And I believe someone has passed away.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering. How quickly they forget. Our goal is to get toxins out of our environment, poisons out of our
Just
food
'cause
supply,
he has the name doesn't
and keep
mean he can
our
live up to
children
it.
healthy and strong. As an example, not long ago, and you can't even believe these numbers, 1 in 10,000 children had autism, 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 36. There's something wrong, 1 in 36, think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of the
Yeah,
people
right.
that are working with you. You have
He's
the
just
best
gonna ban
to
vaccines.
figure out what is going on. Okay, Bobby, good luck.
He thinks
It's a
it's
very important
vaccines.
job. Thank you. Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A
Oh,
few
here we
years
go.
ago,
Here comes the
January,
bigotry.
Little John and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronouns.
No, their daughter
They,
made the choice to
them
do
pronoun,
that,
actually.
and the school probably
All without
supported
telling
them.
January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous advocate against this form of child abuse. January, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's not child abuse. What's child abuse is that the parents are going to fight and stop that child from being who they are. That's child abuse.
Thank you. Stories like this are why, shortly after taking office,
I don't
I
even know
signed
what-
an
I don't even
executive
wanna know
order
what happened
banning
to that
public
poor
schools
child.
from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology. I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
That does not happen. That
And
doesn't
now I
happen.
want Congress to pass a
This is
bill
all just
permanently
like-
banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the
Which is
lie
not
that any
happening.
child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie.
That's not happening. Ridiculous.
And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly
So I mean,
the
I
way
feel sorry for that
God
kid.
made
I don't
you.
even want. Could you imagine what they did to that poor child? Probably conversion therapy.
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it, don't we? Don't we feel better? Our service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors.
Why are they
They
sitting
will
there
fight
taking it?
for our country. And Pete, congratulations. Secretary of Defense, congratulations.
better remember their oath.
And he's not big into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well. I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15 years, and that all armed services are having among the best recruiting results ever in the
I like that
history
they're not
of our
smiling
services.
or clapping.
What a difference.
Well, okay, one guy.
And you know, it was just a few months ago
Are they supposed to be
where the
neutral
results
like the
were
judges
exactly the opposite.
The
We
Supreme
couldn't
Court
recruit
judges?
anywhere.
are?
We
Yeah, he
couldn't
fires
recruit.
competent women.
Now we're having
That's
the
what
best
he did.
results
DEI,
just about
he
that we've
fired
ever
women.
had.
He
What a
fired
tremendous turnaround.
people of
It's
color.
really a beautiful thing to see. People love our country again. It's very simple. They love our country, and they love being in our military
Do
again.
we love that
So it's a
country
great
right
thing,
now?
and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Do we? I don't
We're
think
joined
so.
tonight by a young man, Jason
The
Hartley,
United
who
States of
knows
America
the weight
cannot
of
be
that
trusted
call of
any
duty.
longer. We need to
Jason's
pull away.
father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a six-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. And Jason, that's a very big deal getting in. That's
It's
a
2
hard
hours
one
long?
to get into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You will soon be joining the Corps of Cadets.
I thought Trump was going to say that there was a shocking moment in this whole thing, like some big announcement.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
I'm trying to figure out if those
Ronald
military
Reagan
men are supposed to be
Wanted to do
neutral.
it long ago, but
Like
the technology just wasn't
the
there, not
Supreme
even
Court
close. But now we
justices
have
or
the
whatever
technology.
that are
It's
there.
incredible, actually. And other places, they have it. Israel has it. Other places have it.
Why do you need a
And the
dome?
United States should have it too, right?
Why?
Tim, right?
What are you
They
planning
should
on
have
doing?
it too. So I want to thank you, but it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We
The
should
only
have it.
reason
We want
why-
to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like
Like, what do
never
you need
before.
a dome for?
To boost our defense industrial base, we
Why?
are also going
What are you
to
planning on
resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding.
Why does America need an iron dome?
And for that purpose, I am announcing
That's
tonight
worrisome.
that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security, my administration will
I
be
don't think it's
reclaiming
national
the
security.
Panama
Why is he
Canal,
building?
and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals. The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal. They died of malaria. They died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice place to work. They paid them very highly to go there, knowing there was a 25% chance that they would die. The most expensive project also that was ever built in our country's history, if you bring it up to modern day costs. It was given away by the Carter administration for $1, but that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. Now we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it, he got 100 votes. You know, he was approved with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman, and I feel very certain. So let's assume he got 100 votes. And I'm either
So
very,
with the
very
Panama
happy about
Canal,
that, or I'm very
There
concerned
were
about it.
5,600 deaths
But
during
he's
the
already
U.S.
proven. I mean,
construction,
he's a great gentleman. He's
and fewer
respected by
of them,
everybody, and we appreciate
fewer
you
than
voting for Marco.
350 of them were
He's going to do a
US citizens.
fantastic job. Thank you.
If
Thank
you
you.
count the French
He's doing a great job.
effort before U.S.,
Great
the
job.
total rises to 25,000.
And I also have a message tonight
So less
for the
than
incredible
350
people of
U.S.
Greenland.
citizens died.
We strongly support
Building
your
the
right to
Panama Canal.
determine your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security
such
and
a
even
liar.
international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security, and I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it. We will keep you safe.
That's
We
why
will
he
make
needs
you
an Iron
rich and
Dome, 'cause he's
together.
gonna.
We will take Greenland to heights like you have never thought possible before. It's a very small population, but very, very large piece of land and very, very important for military security. America is once again standing strong against
Yeah, he
the
keeps
forces
saying
of
we need these
radical
things, and we're gonna
Islamic
get it one way or
terrorism.
another.
3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists
the
killed
United
13
States of
American
America,
service members
American
and
people
countless others
are not
in the
doing
Abbey
anything. They're
Gate
just
bombing
standing
during
by,
the
letting this happen,
disastrous
because they
and
think he's
incompetent
not
withdrawal
serious.
from Afghanistan. Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Why are they bringing them all to America? They brought the cartel. Now they're bringing this person. If they're bringing this person, gotta fact check everything he's saying.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster. This was a very momentous day for those 13 families who I actually got to know very well, most of them, whose children were murdered, and the many people that were so badly, over 42 people, so badly injured on that fateful day in Afghanistan. What a horrible day. Such incompetence was shown that when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people. I spoke to many of the parents and loved ones, and they're all in our hearts tonight. Just spoke to them on the phone. We had a big call every one of them called, and everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
I don't know who he's talking about. As far as Afghanistan is going. I doubt it's true, though. 99% of the stuff that comes out of Trump's mouth that he vomits out is
And now we're going to
not
build
true.
on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future for the entire region. A lot of things are happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to end the savage conflict in Ukraine. Millions of Ukrainians and Russians have been needlessly killed or wounded in this horrific and brutal
You're the
conflict
worst
with no
negotiator
end
ever.
in sight.
The worst.
The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support
Wrong.
Ukraine's defense.
Wrong.
With no
Look at him. He looks.
security,
He's like, oh, do
with
they know I'm telling the
no
truth?
anything.
It's not true. It's not true. Not hundreds of billions.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
Racist.
"2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby.
Such a
That's what
liar.
happened.
Liar.
And they've
That's
spent
not how much.
$100 billion.
Oh, my
What a difference that
God.
is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening.
They have not given
Biden has
Ukraine
authorized
money.
more money in this fight than Europe has spent by
They gave
billions
Ukraine
and billions
machinery
of dollars. It's hard
that
to
they
believe
could not
that they wouldn't have
dispose of.
stopped it and said at some point, come on, let's
That's
equalize.
the
You gotta
majority
be
of it.
equal
They
to us.
gave them
That didn't happen. Earlier today, I
vehicles,
received an important letter from
military
President
vehicles that would cost
Zelensky of
the
Ukraine.
USA
The
tons
letter
of
reads,
money.
Ukraine is ready to come to
dispose
the
of.
negotiating table as
So
soon as
instead of
possible
doing that,
to bring lasting peace
they shipped
closer.
them to Ukraine.
Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians,
To the
he
USA,
said.
they were garbage.
My
To
team and I
Ukraine, they're
stand ready to
saviors.
work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a
It
peace
wasn't money.
that lasts.
It was machinery.
We do really value how much America has
Machinery
done
they
to
were
help
getting rid of and
Ukraine
needed to get rid of.
maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
But
Wouldn't
they
that be
won't
beautiful?
hold their peace. That's not beautiful because they won't hold it.
Wouldn't that be beautiful? It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end this senseless war.
He wants
If you
peace
want to
so
end
he can
wars,
take
you
over
have
the
to
Panama
talk to
Canal.
both sides.
He wants peace.
Nearly 4 years ago,
so that he
amid
can go to war
rising
with
tensions,
Mexico.
a history teacher named
He
Mark
wants peace
Fogel
so that he can
was
annex
detained in
Canada.
Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy safely back home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight. To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it? Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot. Less than 10 minutes later, at that same rally, gunfire rang out, and a sick and deranged assassin unloaded 8 bullets from his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people. My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky. Corey Comparator was a firefighter, a veteran, a Christian, a husband, a devoted father, and above all, a protector. When the sound of gunshots pierced the air, it was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do. He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs. 2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit. But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone, and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee. Thank you.
One daughter looks really, really angry. For some reason.
To Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now, and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on.
10 more minutes.
Corey
of
was
this
taken
garbage.
from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty
My
Hawk
dog is like,
to the astronauts
coming
who
to bed
touched the
now?
moon. Americans
come
have
to
always been
bed?
the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation
you're not free.
that will
Americans are
always
not
be
free.
free, and we will fight for it
And you're getting less free
till
every
death.
day
We will
since
never
he's
let
become
anything
president.
happen to our beloved country, because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors. Our ancestors crossed a vast ocean, strode into the unknown wilderness, and carved their fortunes from the rock and soil of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and graced the world with American marvels like the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age. These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going
No, you're
to
not.
forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth. We are going to create the highest quality of life, build the
Right.
safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to
Baloney.
conquer the vast
You're going to
frontiers
do
of
it on the
science,
backs
and
of
we're going
hardworking
to
people and people
lead
who are
humanity
suffering.
into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
The Mars
And through
stuff
it all,
would be
we are
cool
going
if
to
Elon Musk
rediscover
didn't
the
do
unstoppable power
Roman salute.
of the American spirit. And we are going to renew unlimited promise of the American dream. Every single day we will stand up and we will fight, fight, fight for the country our citizens believe in and for the country our people deserve.
They do. They have less freedom now. Even less. Did you know that he's making protesting illegal?
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless
Oh,
America.
thank goodness it's over. The Democrats are running out of there. I would run out too. I hope I did okay. Every time I do these lives, I worry about offending people. Good riddance. Get lost. Go away. He's going to start wars. He's not the president of peace. There's a reason why he needs an iron
Thank you
dome.
very much.
What does he
Great
need an
job.
iron dome for?
Thank you. Thank you.
What does
Thanks, Governor.
USA need an iron dome for?
It's a great
Don't
honor.
shake
Thank
his
you.
hand.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much.
You guys better remember
Thank you
your
very
oath.
much. Appreciate it. Thank you. See you soon. Young people the world of America. Well, I'm trying to. Great guy. Thank you. That's your favorite.
I'm amused.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you again. Thank you.
That judge is like,
Won't
yeah,
forget.
So good.
whatever.
So good, sir.
Thank you.
Best. Terrific, Mr. Really terrific. Really outstanding. Thanks.
Not terrific.
Thank you.
Good job, Mr. President. Thanks.
We got you.
Great.
Go to bed. Is that an order? Is that an order, Lori?
The phone call last night too.
Absolutely. You know that. Thank you for I'll do it. Just give me the information.
I'm not gonna get you. Sorry.
Thank you, everybody. Great speech.
Great.
Best speech ever.
Yes. Good.
President Roger Williams, thanks for the call.
I love Roger Williams.
Thank you.
You don't have to introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President.
I know you better than you do, Roger.
Thank you so much.
My great baseball player.
America
Good
is-
job. Great job you're doing.
My doggy
America
is
is
waiting.
back. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Pennsylvania anytime, sir.
They stood for.
Thank you all.
They stood for another country, not our country. That was phenomenal.
It's hard to believe, isn't it?
No, it's not hard to believe because they know where you're taking the United States of America. You're taking it to war.
Good job, Mr. President.
You're causing it to
Great speech.
be isolated. You're making it so that Canadians and your allies don't trust you as a trading partner or as a partner to stick to your word.
Good. How you doing? All right?
It looks like, though,
And based on many things in the border, but also
Hold on.
based on
it looks like Ukraine is going to be signing that mineral deal. And they won't survive without the United States of America. And that's a problem. That's a problem. Right? People have depended on United States of America. We helped United States become a superpower. We helped them. We backed them. We allowed them to grow so big. Thinking that they would protect us. And now they've turned on all of their allies. Yeah, it's going to be blackmail for Ukraine. They can't survive without United States supplies and money, which is not money. It was a lot of equipment that was garbage to the United States, and they needed to get rid of it anyways, and so they gave it to Ukraine. And as far as Canada's concerned, the money that we're giving is from seized assets, Russian assets. It's very concerning that Donald Trump wants an Iron Dome. Why does he want an Iron Dome? they wouldn't need it if they were allies with everybody. Yeah, I'm very concerned, actually. And people of the United States of America are just standing there allowing it to happen. I see protests, but I think more needs to be done. He needs to be impeached. Democrats need to stand up and start doing something. Holding up signs is not going to do it, sorry. There's something seriously wrong here. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We need subscribers. I have to pay for programs here. Thank you for joining me. I will worry. We're too close to them. I'm like, maybe I should move to the UK. That's where all my family is anyways. Good night, everybody.